Okay, so I finished up Ellie today. This is gonna be like way later on in the future, like at least like the video is gonna be posted later on. So I'm gonna paint up Joel because I am pretty bored right now, and I figured we would start with the skin tone. He is very, very, very orange. So I'm just mixing some Cadian flesh tone and some white, and I'm gonna see what brightening up the skin is gonna do. I'm just gonna doing a light dry brush because I want to keep like the darker undertones, and oops, and because Joel's face is so kind of rugged, we can kind of get away with doing a bit dirtier. However, I did mess up here. Way too much of a focused lump got on the skin, so we just keep dry brushing like so. I don't really care if I hit the eyebrows because the eyebrows are painted too high up in my opinion, and I'm also gonna redo the beard down here. Okay, this is a little bit too heavy, but I'm kind of curious what it's gonna look like when it dries, so I'm gonna keep it here, and if it's too much I'll just redo it. So now we let this dry. So his eyes are a lot more symmetrical now. As you can see, he's actually looking straight ahead. So I think the skin tone is a little bit too pale now, but we're gonna work on the eyebrows just to kind of get a better sense of the face, because it's like I always say, if you only have a skin tone and you don't have that nice eyebrow contrast, you kind of get a little bit of a skewed perception of the skin tone. So what I'm gonna mainly do is paint the eyebrows very low, because on the original NECA figure the eyebrows were kind of high up and it threw off the likeness a little bit. So gonna keep it here and do kind of upward strokes, making sure the eyebrows don't just look like kind of straight lines, and we're gonna keep them kind of low. And we also will go in with some gray for the eyebrows. But for starters, we're just going in with black. That actually looks pretty freaking good. Can still do a little bit of work on the overall shape. So now we wait for this to dry, and then we're gonna go into some gray. So now with the eyebrows for the most part locked in, we're gonna go in with some gray. Just kind of dot it on like so, keeping some of the black in the background to create some depth. There we go, that looks good. Something that bothers me quite a bit is the shape of the beard. So in the game, his beard definitely extends more to the side here. So it goes kind of up here. Darkening these bits a little. I think the stash part should be a little bit thicker too, or at least more prominent with the darker tones. Oops. Well, it doesn't really matter. We're gonna rework the skin tone a little bit anyway. I know that his beard goes up a little bit on this particular bit here. Oops. We can darken it a little bit like so. I'm really trying my best to get rid of all this really bright dry brushing from the beard, just so I have a better like idea of where I am in the paint process. I feel like there's something a little bit off about the sculpt. Like, I think his jaw is supposed to be a little bit more of at a harsher angle. I'm not really sure. But we're gonna ever so slightly rework the skin tone a little bit. So I have some Cadian flesh tone, and I'm just gonna kind of go over all of the skin like this. So I get that the sculpted kind of neck beard is there to add some realism to it, but Joel doesn't really have a neck beard in the game, and it throws off the silhouette, like the shape of the head a little bit, because it blends into the beard. So I'm just gonna lightly sand everything off. Turned out to be a little bit difficult to remove it with sandpaper, so I'll just see what some Cadian flesh tone does. So I got to here where I kind of just ended up sanding away all the neck beard and just painted it over. But I'm gonna try to reshape the beard a little bit more, and it's mainly to remove the corners of the mouth here. So I kind of feel like Joel's neck kind of disappears when I put the head on, so I'm gonna try. I have some, just like a sponge here, and I'm just gonna try putting this into the hole and then putting the head in and see if that can lift up the head a little bit. Yeah, it's definitely higher up now. Actually, I kind of like it. I mean, there's a little gap here now, but no, it's not that bad. So, time to put some gray strands in Joel's beard. And then I think we're gonna do some kind of like light gray strands as well. So I'm gonna do a little heavier dry brush of gray in the hair. Alright, we're moving along pretty well. I'm gonna do some shading now with Reichland Flesh Shade. And normally the common idea of using a wash is to just kind of drench the entire figure in the wash. But I like to be a little bit subtle with it. Like, I specifically pick out the areas that are gonna have the wash, and the majority of it I just wipe away on my thumb like so, and then I very, very gently paint in the wash like so. And it became a little bit too heavy on this bit here, but I can fix that. We'll just go over it with some skin tone. And in order to fix this heavy wash here, we just mix some new skin tone and we paint it like so. So I just noticed that Joel has two moles. So like one is placed like here, and then the other one is around here. So I want a little bit more contrast with the hair, so I've mixed white and some dark gray, and I'm just going to do a kind of soft dry brush over the hair again, even though I've already dry brushed it once with gray. Yeah, I think that really, really worked out. And with that last dry brush, we have the entire thing completed, and I am very, very satisfied with how he turned out. I still prefer his Last of Us 1 look with the green shirt, but overall I think this does look very good. It definitely amped up the likeness a lot, just repainting the entire head. So yeah, really, really happy with how it turned out. I also repainted Ellie, so if you're curious, just look around on my channel and you'll find her. So thank you for watching, and hope you enjoyed.
If somehow the Lord gave me a second chance at that moment, I would do it all over again. You ain't even hurt. You are treading on some mighty thin ice here.